Footy fans, welcome back to the YTF Footy channel with round 13's tips and predictions. Last week was a shocker. I only got 2 out of the 5, but I've seen it all over social media. A lot of people really flopped on last week's rounds. Every underdog of the round got up. Sharks is my biggest letdown. I don't know how they beat the Storm the week before and then get folded by the Roosters. Hence why we're probably going to tip the Roosters this week. What else do I got to say? So, by the looks of it, going through all team lists, every Origin player playing tonight will be backing up this week, unless they're injured. Try and keep you up to date, if so. If you are new to the channel, drop a like, comment on the video, share the video, take you 2 minutes, subscribe, turn on those push notifications. Fingers crossed we're going for a better week this week, guys. First game of the round, we have the Dragons taking on the Knights. So, for Dragons, no Corey Allen, no Dylan Egan. And for the Knights, no Adam Elliott or Paul Bryan. But Leo Thompson's back. I think that's the biggest one. KP obviously back up from Origin. Let's get straight into it. So, Dragons won't be lacking any confidence as they come off that impressive win over the Broncos in round 12. Only 2 points separate these two sides on the ladder. Last year, Newcastle beat the Dragons 30-10, but that was in Newcastle. Dragons have only won one of their past 4 games at Jubilee Stadium, which is a little bit of a worry. Knights have won 4 of their past 6 against the Dragons. So, flip of the coin. Sloan has scored 9 tries in 9 games in 2025. Fletcher Sharp has scored 5 tries in his last 4 games. Damien Cook has scored 5 tries in his last 6 against the Knights. So that's a good little handy stat there if you're a punter looking for a boost your multi up. Put Damien Cook in, anytime try scorer. But in saying that, the way Dragons have been playing these past few weeks, you can't ignore it. So we're going to take the Dragons in this one. We'll take the Dragons 1-12. Take Dragons 1-12. Moving on, we've got the Titans taking on the Storm. Not going to be a lot to say. We know where Titans are sitting at on the ladder. So we're going to definitely take the Storm. Take Storm 13+. Titans have only won 1 of their past 11 games against the Storm. Storm have won 8 of their past 9 games at Cbus Stadium. Jojo Fafita scored 13 tries in his past 13 games. Paps has scored 5 tries in 4 games at Cbus Stadium. Alofi Khan Pereira heads into his 50th career game, sitting on 47 tries. Hopefully AKP can get over the line, but probably see Paps go over for 6 or 7 tries in 5 games at Cbus, in my opinion. I know the Storm will want to bounce back after that loss against the Sharks. And I think they'll bounce back in impressive form. I'm thinking at least by 14 or 16, I reckon they get up. So take Storm 1-12. Storm 13+. Moving on, we've got the Cowboys taking on the Tigers. I'm not sure what Todd Payton's doing there. So last win, I believe, Cowboys had was when Jake Clifford played in the side and he played halfback. Since then, he's experimented with Jackson Purdue in the halves, with Tom Dearden at halfback. I just think put Purdue back in the centres, mate. He was carving up there. Put Didos at 6, running half like he should be. And bring Clifford back into the side. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments section, footy fans. But we will take the Cows. We'll take Cows 1-12, just for the simple fact. Cows have won 5 of their last 6 against the Tigers. Tigers have lost their last 3 games at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. So in that, we're going to take the Cowboys 1-12 and finally chalk up some wins on the board again. Robert Derby scored 6 tries in his past 4 games at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Jareem Buller has scored 4 tries in his past 4 games against the Cows. Scott Drinkwater has scored 7 in his last 9 games against the Tigers. So if you're a punting man there, the try scorers I'd be looking out for. Anyway, we're moving on. So yes, Cows 1-12. Yep. Just saying, Seagulls taking on the Broncos. If you're a betting man, I hope that you put money on Broncos at the start of the week when they're at plus money. I think I got them at $2, just over that $2.11 or something over the Seagulls. And now that Tom Trbojevic is not being named and is out injured, Broncos turning to the favourites. Jesse Arthur's moved to fullback. I like that. Probably add a little bit more spark than Selwyn Cobbo, in my opinion. Lehigh Hopewadi goes to fullback for the Seagulls. Bit of stats. Eagles have only won 3 of their past 10 against the Broncos. This is the first time Broncos are going to play at 4 Pines Park for the first time since 2014. Eagles have conceded 98 points in 3 consecutive losses on home soil. So that's not good stats for the Seagulls. Adam Reynolds, Jesse Arthurs, and Corey Jensen are the only players to play at 4 Pines Park. Even though they haven't played since 2014. But what else we got? Jazz Tavanga makes his 150th NRL appearance. I reckon that Broncos are definitely going to bounce back after that loss against the Dragons. I don't think they're going to do too much. Hopefully, Seagulls can sharp defensively. So we're going to take Broncos 1-12. Then we have the Rabbitohs taking on the Wars. Now, this is a tough one for me. This is a tough one. Because I love my Wars, and you can never deny them. A little bit of good news for Wars fans. Rocco Berry and JFH return for the Wars. Rocco Berry from injury and JFH, I believe, from suspension. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he returns from suspension. The game against the Dolphins, I think. Rabbitohs have won 8 of their past 9 games against the Wars. Wars have won 5 of their last 6 games in Australia. So, Wars playing a more consistent footy by all means. So, in that sense, I'm going to have to take the Wars, but I do have a slight feeling that Rabbits may get up. Rabbits starting to play some good footy too. They haven't been consistent enough for me all year to be able to bank my tip on them, which is why I'm going to go the Wars, but we'll take the Wars 1-12. Try scorers, Alex Johnston has scored 27 tries in his last 25 games at Accor Stadium. And Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has scored 6 in his last 7 at Accor. So maybe a little Alex Johnston or a little RTS any times there for the try scorers and punters. Moving on, we have the Panthers taking on the Eels. Now, if both... well, not if both men. If all the Panthers men and Zach Lomax and Mitchy Moses back up, it's literally the 2 New South Wales halves playing against each other this week. I reckon it'll be a cracker of a game. I hope the Eels can stay confident and positive. They're a couple wins now. Looking for their first 3 consecutive wins since 2023, which is a little bit alarming. But Panthers have won 4 of their past 6 games against the Eels, but Eels have won 3 of their past 4 games at CommBank. So that's a little handy stat to know. Oh, that makes the game even more exciting. Panthers have lost all 3 games at home in 2025. They're sitting at the bottom of the ladder. They have to win. Have to take the Panthers. Panthers 1-12. I reckon it'll be a cracker of a game. Moving on to what I believe should be the game of the round. Raiders versus Roosters. Now, both teams coming off impressive wins from last week. More so the Roosters. They put it on the Sharks. Which is why I'm going to just have to tip the Roosters this week. Like, just the way the Roosters they've been putting it on and turning up these past few weeks. And last week was a good fine example. Raiders were literally missing no one. Sharkies are literally missing no one. And Roosters were missing Robert Toa, Angus Crichton, Lindsay Collins, Spencer Leniu, and Connor Watson. So 5 of their starters and they showed up and smoked the Sharks, in my opinion. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take the Roosters in this one. It's gonna be a tough one just because I hate tipping against the Raiders, because Raiders are undoubtedly going under the radar in like maybe a lot of people's eyes, but Raiders really playing some good footy. They're kind of lucky to get the win against the Warriors. I think Tom Starling, so yeah, no Tom Starling for the Raiders either this week, which will be a bit of a loss. Roosters have only won one of 4 games at Allianz Stadium, so that's a little bit of a worry. And Raiders have won 3 of their past 4 games against the Roosters. I may change my tip to the Raiders. I already have tipped, but yeah, I've got Roosters in there. Just hard to. Last week was just a throw off. Roosters just going to throw us off last week and then not show up this week once they get all their Origin players back. I don't know. It's too hard to predict. Honestly, this year's been tough to pick. Teddy scored 6 tries, so yeah, this one's for. So we're going to take the Roosters. We'll take Roosters. We'll take Roosters 1-12. I reckon it can be a good hard-fought defensive effort from both sides, but I'm going to mark Nawanakanatuwasi getting that match-winning try. Can't catch a ball, but he knows how to score the tries. So yeah, Teddy scored 6 tries in his last 7 games against the Raiders, and Mark Nawanakanatuwasi has scored 6 tries in his last 4 games. So they are my they're my try scorers to look out for. Also, like Seb Chris anytime, but he started off real well. He was consistent. I think he had like 5 in a row, and then now past 4 games he hasn't even seen the white line. Tim McCall's starting to play some good footy again. Maybe a Savage, Xavier Savage, or Saveli Tamale. Maybe go Saveli Tamale first, and then Teddy and Mark Nawanakanatuwasi. Anyway, that's the tips for this week, guys. We're hoping for a 7 out of 7. I feel pretty confident in every tip. On just that last game is gonna be a toss-up, I reckon. And Broncos, as long as Broncos show up, I'm pretty confident in all those tips. Anyway, like I said, new to the channel, like, subscribe, share that video, turn on those push notifications, show some love to the YTF Footy channel, help us grow, comment to get that algorithm going. YTF Footy Show signing out. Peace. Love yous all.